Elon Gold, shalom.
Oh my goodness, Yoni, right?
Yep.
Big fan of yours. How you doing?
Thank you very much for coming.
By
to
the way,
studio.
what a day. Baruch Hashem, good news.
Good news with the
Two hostages rescued. This is Nes Gadol Haya. Po. Po is here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sham is there.
Exactly.
Po is here.
We say po.
We say Po because we're here.
Right.
I say Sham.
When you're there.
When I'm there. I'm not used to saying Po. But here I Po. I am poing.
And you're a po, you're here.
Yes.
And again, thank you for
But
coming.
seriously,
to right.
unbelievable news.
Amazing.
I mean, all I do is daven for the hostages. Every day, all day, I take out a list of names. I say Achenu, and I just pray every day for a long time. Like my davening has doubled in time just for Tzahal and hostages.
And Tzahal, the
Tzahal
brave,
to come
brave
home.
soldiers. Like, we just can imagine what was going on there last night. It's hard to comprehend.
It's Entebbe level success. It's an operation that we can't even imagine. Went off without a hitch. You know, we know the tragedy of the last time they tried to rescue those 3 hostages. This is like just the perfect operation, and I'm just so proud of every member of Tzahal. So proud of every member of Tzahal for their unbelievable courage and bravery and strength and resolve to bring them home. It's unbelievable.
So as we began, thank you very much for coming to the studio, but also thank you for coming to Israel. Tell us about the decision to come.
By the way, coming to Israel was easy. Getting to the studio was impossible. It was a cab
driver.
Didn't
Where
drop
to go?
me off. Where am I going? I'm walking down the street here. What was the question?
I'm saying about the decision to come to Israel.
Oh, that was an easy decision. That decision happened, I think, on October 8th, and I said, I must go. You know, I got the news, and it was like 100, and I was in shock. 100 people were killed. At the beginning. At the beginning, that was the first report. Then I got to shul and I heard 200. And this is unfathomable to me, 200. I'm still reeling from all the horrible terrorist attacks, like, for example, the Rabbi D's wife and 2 daughters. That, to me, was enough to go to war over. You kill a beautiful family like that, you go to war with the people that do that. Now you're talking about 200, only to find out it was 1,200. Wow. And what are we going to do? Just allow this slow Holocaust where they just keep killing us 1 by 1 or 3 by 3 or 1,200 by 1,200? You have to stop this madness, this insanity, this hate, this terror, the rage. It's unbelievable. And the fact that we have a president of the United States going, don't go into Rafah. Really? What if that was your kids in Rafah? Would you tell any army not to go rescue your kids? Don't go. Hey, Biden, don't go into the White House because you're making some really dumb, bad decisions. And by the way, it's not the president of Mexico.
Now, listen,
by the way, Biden, not against Biden. They're going to use that clip and go, oh, Jewish comedian hates the president. No, I was rooting for him. When he came here to Israel, that was amazing. He gave those back-to-back speeches with the don't and all that stuff. Don't mess with Israel. Don't mess, you and Hezbollah, don't start with us or we'll get it. And now it's completely reversed. Now he's saying, Israel, don't do this. Don't tell us what to do. We're going to do, no world leader and no one on the world stage should tell Israel what to do because no one knows what it's like to be surrounded by enemies who just want you dead.
And just as we're seeing the difference in terms of the pressure, in the beginning we had the big hug from the world and from America, also in terms of the hate. There was a feeling at the beginning that maybe the world will understand us. How soon did you understand that the hate, the anti-Semitism is just going to flourish these days?
I don't even think we got 24 hours before I started looking and seeing people on the streets yelling about gas the Jews. And I was like, wait a minute, we were just did we just kill people or did we get killed? And the answer from the world was, okay, we hate you. And now we've been meaning to tell you how much we hate you for a while.
We've been hiding it.
We've been hiding it. And we're going to take this opportunity to really go like full on hatred. But at this time, when we are actually completely victimized in the worst terror attack in the history of the country, this is the time? No, you do that when we attack. right? And it was before we went into Gaza. We were the victims. There was no doubt about it. We were the victims. And then the Holocaust denial level of October 7th denial was just insane. It's all unfathomable to me.
But do you find yourself confronting? I mean, I see people, responding on the web, but do you find yourself confronting people that, are also an important, influential people?
Yeah, I'm constantly fellow comedians. I spent 3 hours on a Friday afternoon. I should have been getting ready for Shabbat, but I was just arguing with a comedian, very famous comedian, and she had just posted something about that the IDF is spraying white phosphorus gas in Gaza, which is a war crime, which is, a real actual, what's the word when you do?
Genocidal.
It's a real genocidal, and it was a lie. And I was explaining to her, this is a blood libel. And if you say that the IDF is doing that, people will believe you, and they'll go out and just be so angry, they'll attack Jews everywhere on the planet. Wow. So that's what blood libels are. It starts with, they killed Jesus. All right, let's kill them. You just need the lie to attack. All you need is the lie. So they killed Jesus, we'll attack. They're killing Palestinians, let's attack them. And they don't get that we don't want to kill Palestinians. We don't want to kill anyone. We just want to live in peace and coexistence with all of our neighbors. How do they not see? I was joking about this on stage last night. Doesn't the world also know that if you just look at history, when you try to wipe out the Jewish people, you get wiped out. That's just how history is. I said to them, do you not see that the Nazis are not seen anymore? Because they're gone and we're still here. So just stop messing with us. We don't want to have to defend ourselves. We just want to live.
Wow. As a comedian, when did you go back on stage? That was difficult.
That was tough because about a week after, about 5 days after, I had a gig, and it was a fundraiser. It was an important cancer. It was an important fundraiser. And I said, as important as this cause is, A, I cannot be funny. I mean, I was just in shock and weeping and freaking out. And B, it's not appropriate to just have a comedy show when this war just broke out and these people are suffering and hostages and everything. And then the next week, I luckily had the week off, so I didn't have to deal with anything or cancel with anything, and I was just dealing with it. And then the next week, I had these 2 back-to-back gigs, and the first gig called, and I said, you're calling to cancel, of course, because everyone was also canceling on me. I was canceling, wow. And then they were canceling. Even Future, we don't know how long this war is going to be. It's not right for comedy, so all these gigs were canceling on me. And I said, oh, are you canceling? Totally understand. I don't want to do it either. And he said, no, quite the opposite. We need you to uplift our people. We have 1,000 people coming to this big ballroom in Beverly Hills, and it's a big fundraiser for the community, and we're honoring 2 people, and they specifically asked you to be funny. And I go, I don't know if I can be funny. And I don't know if people can laugh. I don't know if people can laugh. I literally went to my friend Modi, the comedian. I went to his show 2 nights before. He was in LA just to say hi and just to see, are people going to laugh? There's no way people are laughing at this point. And he was rocking the house because everybody needs to take a moment and a break to eat, to sleep, to laugh, to whatever. So it's like, even with all the horror, we still are human beings and have to continue.
But I saw some of the content, and we'll talk about what you did also. It's not about running away and just laughing. It's a lot about pride. It's a lot about Jewish pride in wake of what's going on, right?
Oh yeah, my whole act. I did an hour and 25 minutes last night at the Jerusalem Theater. Sold out, not important. Standing ovation, who's counting? But anyway, I would say 60% of it was about Israel, was about being a proud Jew, was about how much they hate us. And again, you say, well, how do you make jokes? Well, I would never make a joke about the hostages. I would never make a joke about just the death and destruction on either side. But I will make jokes that mock, for example, people who hate us for the wrong reasons and people who lie about us. Like my opening line on stage in front of almost 1,000 people, I get on stage and I say, it is so good to be home with my fellow genocidal apartheid colonizers. And everyone cheered because they know I'm just mocking the people that call colonizers. The joke is the only place we ever colonized was the Catskills. We're bungalow colonizers, which is a regional joke that they really get in the US, and they still got it here. But it's like all these labels, apartheid. Ask my Israeli Arab cab driver who just took me here if this is an apartheid state. He'll be like, I couldn't be happier here. Genocide. The word genocide was invented by a Jew because of the Holocaust. And if Israel wanted to commit genocide, and it's the last thing it wants, it would probably take about a half hour. And also, I think the 2 million Israeli Arabs would be dead, and then the millions of Arabs in the West Bank would be dead. But we don't want to kill anyone. We don't want to kill anyone. So this accusation of genocide, which is such a twisted thing because they're taking something that happens to us regularly, by the way. Expelled and murdered out of every country in the Middle East, expelled and murdered out of every country in Europe. Actual genocides. And now they're taking that word and twisting it and accusing us of committing that.
You also find
when we're trying to prevent one.
You also find yourself admiring Israeli soldiers on stage?
Admiring? Are you kidding? They're my heroes.
The good jokes.
Yeah. Then they're the positive jokes, about Israeli soldiers. And, it's everything from the fact that they're so macho, they're like, I was in the army and, they're like Jewish Arnold Schwarzeneggers. They're like Arnold Schwartzes, where they're like, that's right, and I fought in the Lebanon 1, and I did the sequel, Lebanon 2. But then also they have this sort of adorable, effeminate side when they hit the letter S and they have that lisp. They're like, I don't want this, I want this. Yes, this one, not, I was in the army, this one, please, not this. So it's so funny to see these macho guys. And by the way, macho, not in that way, but brave women. I mean, the women of the IDF, the women of just the Israeli police are just amazing. Yeah, like every time I thank them, I'm like, thank you, Wonder Women. They're all Wonder Women. Yeah, I always thank you. I never pass by a tzahal, a chayal, chayalet, without thanking them.
And Elon, you also went down south. You saw from up close.
That was a main reason. I mean, I came here first and foremost to just make my people laugh. Like, give them a break. These are people who are beyond traumatized. And I wanted to give them a moment to just forget everything and just feel united and laugh and have a good time, even for an hour and a half. But also, it was so important for me to bear witness. I had to bear witness. I had to see it for myself. And it was, beyond difficult and painful. I think the only thing that kept me from breaking down, because I'm an easy crier, very sensitive. I get made fun of all the time. Like, I was talking to this young man who was telling me about his grandfather, 83 years old, still a hostage. His grandmother, thank God, came home. And I just started bursting into tears, just talking to this young man. I'm just like, your grandfather is still there? That's your grandfather. It's insane. So I'm an easy crier. And I think what kept me together in the South was, first of all, it was so unimaginable. It was almost like, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, it was almost like a movie set, which I've been on, where I see like, oh, wow, they make it look so real. Wow, it looks like they really burnt down that house. Oh, it looks like that house just got shot up. But I'm in Hollywood. I feel like nothing is real.
It's like when you're there, I was there as well. When you're there, you don't understand. It's like, it takes you a day or two
a while.
to understand
then you realize
what you just saw.
This is not a movie set. This is so real and so tragic that this could happen to any community is, again, beyond belief, beyond words. And I think the other thing that kept me from totally falling apart was that I was there to bear witness from my own eyes, but also to document. So I felt like I was there almost as a documentarian, getting footage, and I had a crew with me, and I was, a little bit narrating. So I had to keep it together, By the way, I kept it together at my younger brother's funeral. My younger brother passed away a few years ago of leukemia, and just yesterday would have been his 50th birthday, and it also was his yurtzeit.
Wow.
So I got to say Kaddish at the Kotel on his 50th birthday for his yurtzeit. And, there were tears and everything, but I was saying I kept it together at the funeral for my parents. Like I just wanted to be strong for them. So it was that kind of thing where, oh, I should just be bawling. I should just be a wreck here, but I'm going to keep it together. And I made that decision. But I'll cry on the flight home. It's a long flight.
That also brings us back to you going up on stage. That's also keeping it together.
That's the other thing. I have to be funny most of the time. Not now. Now I'm pretty serious. He's like, what? I thought he was a comedian. I thought we were having a comedian. And no, this is a serious time and this is a serious interview. So I don't, I could break into a Trump.
We're doing very well. We're doing so well. And you look at Yoni, and he's got this nice studio, and he's doing so fantastic. And is anybody watching? Now they are, because I'm on. And there's never been bigger ratings than when I come on a show. We've never had a bigger. So yeah, I have to be goofy for a lot of my time, especially at night, and especially on stage.
You went on Israeli TV.
I went on, it was amazing. I did Zeuze with these legends. With the star of Shtisel and Kushner and all
and the stars of Zeuze for us.
And the stars of Zeuze. And it was like, wow, working with those greats was amazing. I know Daniel Lapin, who's this brilliant writer. He has plays here that are big hits in Israel. He ran that show, Life Isn't Everything, for 9 years. He created and ran. And he asked me, and we're developing a TV show now that we hopefully will film in Israel.
Wow.
Yeah, in 6 months to a year. We're writing it, we're developing it. And he said, oh, you're here? You want to do a sketch with us? I'm like, do I? Do the Israeli classic SNL? Yeah, I know there's another one for the youngsters, the hipsters. But this is the classic SNL. It'd be like, Lorne Michaels going, hey, you want to go have fun with Chevy and Belushi and Aykroyd and Murray? Like,
totally.
Yeah, I want to have fun.
By the way, that shows you also that Israel or the Israeli culture made that decision. These shows went on air very fast because there was a feeling that it's important to uplift and also conveying messages.
Correct.
Through humor, we're seeing also Eretz Nehederet, also Zeuze, conveying messages through humor.
You're so right, and there is no better way to convey a message than through humor. When you're laughing, you're so busy laughing, and it's an involuntary reaction that you don't know that your brain is now processing the message that I just said. So a lot of my comedy has this message, but it's so it's sort of couched and hidden in this goofy, and there's a guy on stage, being funny. And then you realize, oh, what he's saying is actually true. And you have to get to the truth and the message behind it. But if you're laughing, you don't notice that I'm teaching you something, but I am.
So let's end with,
it's over already? I guess we didn't do very well. I guess we didn't do very well at all.
You can continue.
No,
you have a meeting.
Okay. I have a lunch.
A lunch is important.
Yes.
No, I just want
you got to eat here. I really came here to eat this amazing Israeli food. That's all I wanted to do.
That's all it's all about.
Yeah.
Listen, you're going back also to continue with your shows, and it's not only about what happens and is happening in Israel. It's about being Jewish.
Yeah.
But the audience is, of course, Jewish, non-Jews. A few words about what you've learned about how people connect to Judaism through the little shticks, the little gimmicks, the little tricks.
Well, it's like, you can go back to vaudeville. The Jews have been entertaining the world forever. And then you have Seinfeld and Curb, and I was so thrilled to be a part of that show, last season. Did you see the new season yet? It just came out. Yeah. I'm not in it, so it won't be that good. Anyway, but, this is what we do, We heal people as doctors. We defend people as lawyers. We take care of your taxes, and then we make you laugh, and we educate you, and we're teachers. My parents are both teachers. So it's this is a long tradition of, Jews sort of giving to society and to culture and giving of themselves to just help. It's the tikkun olam. It's our way, that tikkun olam is the entire message of the Torah is to heal the world, repair the world. God gave us this beautiful world, but we still have to sort of fix it and shape it and make it corny, but a better place.
So being a comedian is not just your day job. You feel this as a mission?
Oh, it's totally a mission. It's all min hashamayim. It's all completely a mission. Here we are in Adar. Misha nichnas Adar marbim besimcha, which means something Adar, something happy. That I know. But it's such a calling and a mission and everything. There's a reason that God gave me minimal talents, anytime that people say to me, how do you write jokes? How do you do impressions? I don't know. There's a talent given from God. How does a surgeon open up a body and then heal that person? It's that's a gift. And then you learn and you study and you go to medical school, but you still have to have the gift and know that this is what I should be doing. I should be also operating and removing people's colons.
Maybe we'll look into that. And I know comedians hate when they're asked for this or given this mission, but give me one of the 1, 2 jokes that you've written here and you're going home with.
Oh, that's a good question, by the way, because the last time I was here, I wrote the Hebrew bit. I literally wrote it a few hours before I went on stage about how I don't speak Hebrew. And, you know, being in Israel, that's my only issue with being here, is that I can't really communicate. I don't speak Hebrew because I only went to yeshiva for 15 years. And then it's this whole long bit. And I developed that here. And then I taped it in front of 4,000 people at this chosen comedy festival. And it went viral. I think it has like almost like 1 million views. And so there's nothing like developing a bit for here. There's so many things I've been doing here. Even silly one-liners like, because I'm doing this benefit for the Kobe Mandel Foundation, and it helps terror victims, and you know, most of the money is really going there. And I'm just covering a few expenses. I do not want to leave Israel with any money. I just gave out 700 shekels just at the Kotel. Like, here, I don't want to leave Israel with any money. And but last night I did the joke, this is a great fundraiser. I go, but I do have to make this quick. I have a 10 o'clock show for UNRWA I'm doing, because they're doing so much for Hamas. I really have to help them.
So, Elon, you're leaving soon?
Yes, I'm leaving tomorrow night, and I mean, I might be back as early as March. Literally, I have a gig in Zurich, and I'm like, well, while I'm this close, may as well pop over to the homeland, you know, because there really is nothing like being home, being here with my people in our homeland. It is so special. I mean, my mother was born here. She was born here in 1936.
Wow.
She is living proof that there was a Jewish presence here before 48, and there will always be a Jewish presence here.
And you'll be back also fighting the battle.
I'm not going into
online.
Gaza.
No, that's an important battle you're fighting.
Yes, I have
against anti-Semitism and to tell the truth.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, you have a voice, you use it. If you're not using your voice, if you have 4 followers or 400,000 followers, use your voice, people. Speak up. Speak now. If not now, when? Isn't that Pirkei Avot?
Exactly, but do you feel that there are many Jewish celebrities who are a bit
I feel
afraid
that
at this
there
point?
are way too many. But then there are also really good ones, like Seinfeld, who came here. Seinfeld showed up, and that is a big risk. Now he's going to do shows that have to deal with protests and death threats. That is a very brave thing to do for a comedian in America that's the top, most famous comedian in the world, to say, well, I'm going to go visit my people. They're hurting big time. So I felt the same way, but more people should be showing up. More people should be speaking up.
Okay, Elon Gold, thank you so
Yoni.
much for coming.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much
much
for coming to Israel.
Thank you.
And come back
By
soon.
the way, my politics, if you're interested, I know this is a right-wing leaning thing. I'm right in the middle. I hate both extremes. Hate the far left, hate the far right. I'm a middle guy. Issues. But on Israel, forget about it. It's just, I'm all in on Israel.
That's kind of obvious, Elon Gold. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.